You cannot be friends with someone who literally wants to be you. And you cannot be friends with someone who secretly hates you. And you definitely cannot be friends with someone who sees you as competition and not as a friend. With that being said, today we are going to be talking about how to spot toxic friends and why you should cut them off. But before we get started, my name is Shanti Ringfield. If you are a woman looking to grow and evolve in any area of your life, you should be subscribed to my channel. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well at Shanti Ringfield. But let's get into today's video. I hope today's video is not too long, but this is honestly a topic that I could go on and on and on about for days. So I'm going to try to make it short, sweet, and to the point. And I had a video of me talking about how to spot a toxic friend on TikTok and it went viral. And so I decided to make a longer form of that video for you guys so we can really talk about it and really get to the nitty gritty and dig up the root of the problem. So I'm gonna let y'all in my business for a second and I'm going to tell y'all this story, okay? So, this was a long time ago. This was years ago. I was in middle school, but I remember this story like it was yesterday because it was so freaking traumatic for me. And I'm not even being dramatic. I almost died because I had a bad friend. Okay. And the warning signs were there, but I was in middle school. Give me grace. Okay. This is what happened. So basically in middle school, I had this friend. This was like my right hand man, my girl, my ace boon coon. Okay. If you don't know what that is, Urban Dictionary, but that was my girl. That was my right hand man. And there was always little things about her that used to annoy me, but I just used to brush it off. You know how we do when we are naive, a little gullible. We don't have the discernment that we should. I used to just brush the little things under the rug that probably should have been huge red flags. So I'm friends with this girl and fast forward, I get a boyfriend, right? I like this boy and he asked me to be his girlfriend at our lockers and I say yes. That same day we have a school dance. I come to the school dance late. He's already there. Everybody's already there. I get there and somebody else comes up to me and tells me like, oh girl, your man was dancing with so-and-so. So-and-so was my best friend that I told y'all about, right? So I'm like, excuse me? So I immediately go to break up with him and I'm talking to my friend like, and what was that? Like, you're dancing with my boyfriend, you know that's my man. And she basically, I don't even remember what she said, to be honest, but I just know that whatever she told me, I was like, all right, I forgave her. We continued on being friends. Me and the boy broke up and then we later got back together and he was just trying to tell me like, she's always liked me, like she did that on purpose, la 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 la. I was just like, whatever, both of y'all are forgiven, moving on. So fast forward to later in the school year, me and the same girl, because remember, this is my girl. All is forgiven with the stuff that happened at the dance. I'm not even mad at her no more, right? We go to a basketball game, a huge basketball game. Y'all know one of those basketball games where it's a rival game and so everybody in the county is there. It was one of those type of games. Mind you, I have always been a social butterfly. I have always been the type of person that tries to make friends with everybody. And I've always had all types of friends. I got artsy friends. I got messy friends. I have friends from everywhere. I've always been that person. I did not have any drama with anybody. Nobody that I knew of hated my guts, right? So we go to the basketball game. I go with my friend and she brings her friend along as well. So I know both of the girls, we're all cool, but one girl I'm closer with than the other. My friend dad comes to pick us up from the basketball game. We're in my friend's dad's car. My friend's dad is driving. He just picked us up. We just hopped in a car, literally. My friend is in the passenger seat. I'm in the back. Her other friend is in the back seat. He picks us up from the front of the school. We hop in, shuts the door. We don't even get out the parking lot good. We driving. We might have drove like 2 feet. We didn't even get out of the parking lot, okay? We drive. All we hear is a boom. I said, what is that? And so I'm scared. I'm looking around. We're in a car. I'm looking around. I see all these kids and I'm like, what was that noise though? Another one. Boom. I look in the back of the car where I'm sitting, and the glass is cracked. And I see at least 20 kids and somebody is banging the back of the car with a bat, y'all. When I tell y'all I started screaming, I said, drive, go! Because this is not going to happen to me. I literally, y'all, I kid you not. Hold on, let me fix my hair. I literally start screaming at my friend's dad. I'm screaming at him like he's somebody off the streets. I said, Gerard, go! Because what the heck is happening? I don't know what's going on because I'm telling y'all, I didn't have any beef. I didn't have any drama with anybody. So I don't know what's going on. All I know is it's an angry mob out here and clearly they're trying to kill me. And so I'm freaking out. I'm shaking. I'm screaming at her dad, telling him to go. He's driving. He hits the gas and we finally get out of the situation. They call the police. I call my daddy. I call my mama. They come and get me. My mom is livid. My dad is pissed to the point where, and honestly, understandably so, because any parent would have been pissed, but like, that was the last time I seen that girl. We seen each other at school sometimes, but my mama was like, tell your parents. Actually, my mama talked to her parents and were like, your daughter is to never contact her again. She can never contact her again. I said all that to say that, first of all, this girl had a lot of freaking drama. A lot of people disliked her for talking to their boyfriends and just being messy. I don't know what her and the other girl had going on, but that mob of people, it was literally like 20 kids, were after her and my friend. Mind you, I didn't know anything about this. I was an innocent bystander, but me simply hanging around the wrong person and the wrong people, I didn't even know what they had gotten into. When I looked at the people behind me, like the 20 kids, I couldn't name not one of those kids. These were not people that I had ever seen or hung out with. So like literally me simply being with the wrong people could have caused me my life because they didn't care. You know how mad you gotta be as a middle schooler? Do you know how angry you have to be to literally take a bat and bash in somebody's daddy's car while the daddy's in the car? Her daddy could have had a gun. Like, they were pissed. Like, they were livid. They wanted their head for real. And also something that I should add, those two girls did get into a lot of fights and stuff in school, but like, I had no idea that was going to happen. Nobody told me nothing. The girls didn't tell me like, oh yeah, so like I didn't know anything and they honestly did not care about me and clearly they weren't my friends. But I just said all that to say that me brushing so many things under the rug and ignoring so many red flags because I wanted to be her friend or just have a friend, it literally almost cost me my life. And believe it or not, that was the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. But I've experienced so many like crazy friendship stories to where I am right now. At this point in my life, I do not tolerate the toxicity. I don't tolerate it, okay? And you shouldn't either. So let's talk about it. It is mandatory to vet people properly before just calling them your friends, before just inviting them to your house, before you just tell them all your business. Like, it is important to take your time with people. If life ain't taught me nothing else, it has taught me that you don't lose anything by moving slow and taking your time. You honestly win everything by taking your time. So let's talk about things that you need to look out for before you just go calling somebody your friends, okay? Or things that you need to look out for in the friends that you may have and that you may already be calling your friend. Okay, number one is the competitive friend. This is the friend who is always comparing themselves to you. They're always comparing everything in their life to everything in your life. You tell them about a new job and they got to turn it around and talk about a job they had. You tell them about your new relationship and they are comparing it to their relationship, or it can be anything. They compare everything. They might be comparing your love life, your finances, the way you look, the car you drive. Like, they cannot help but to compare everything in their life to yours. And you can really spot this type of person because they are the person who has a competitive mindset and not a collaborative mindset when it comes to friends and when it comes to people. And you can tell, especially by the way they talk about people that they dislike. Like, a person who thinks about women competitively is going to think about women competitively in every situation. So when they don't like people, these are the type of people that are always like, oh yeah, that's why my X, Y, and Z is better than hers. Or, oh yeah, that's why I got this better than her. Like, it is very much of a mean girl energy. And it really comes out when they dislike people, and they probably do a better job at covering it up when it comes to you and their friendship. But ultimately, this is the type of person that cannot be friends with you or cannot be happy with you unless they feel like they have one up on you, unless they feel like they are doing better than you in some area or you are beneath them. They can't be friends with people who they perceive to be doing just as amazing as them. And honestly, they are very delusional because they look at you as a competitor and not as a friend. And usually this type of friend sees your light before you do. That's why they're always trying to compare and make comparisons, because in their mind you are doing something better and they want to try to make themselves feel better by trumping on whatever it is that you have going on and always comparing it to them. Their entire sense of self-worth and self-esteem is literally centered around the fact that they have to be better than someone. They don't grasp the idea that, like, two amazing people can exist in one. In their mind, everything has levels, even friendships. Like, and this type of person can only be happy for you when they feel like they're doing better than you. Whenever you start winning or you're doing something that they think is a threat to them, or they feel like you have something that they can't attain, that's when you'll really see it. That's when the competitiveness or like the sly comments and remarks will really start to come out, because they cannot be happy for you unless they perceive that they are doing better than you. And you want to stay away from people like this, because these are not relationships where you can grow and thrive. These are not people who try to create opportunities for you. These are not people that try to help you level up because they want to be at the top level. They're not the type of people that will try to climb and lift as they climb. Like, they want to be at the top and they want everybody else to be beneath them. Number 2 is the jealous friend. Woo! You cannot be friends with somebody who is jealous of you and secretly wants to be you. In the past, this has been a concept that I could not even wrap my mind around, because in my head, I used to be like, why would anybody be jealous of me? Like, I'm so nice. I'm so friendly. I'm cool. Like, I'm funny. Why would you be jealous of me? Like, if you want to know how I get anything or how I do anything, I will let you know. You want to know how I got my hair like this, girl? I will let you know. You want to know how I got this outfit? I will let you know. You want to know how I did my makeup? I will let you know. So I could never wrap my mind around the fact that somebody would be jealous of me. And my mom used to tell me all the time when I would tell her certain situations, she would be like, Shanti, that girl is jealous of you. And in my mind, I just used to be like, why would she be jealous of me though? But a lot of times people will be jealous of you for the things that you cannot control. People will be jealous of you for the way that other people like you and the way that people receive you. People will be jealous of you because you're beautiful, and they can be beautiful too. But it's like they mad because you get attention, or they're mad because you're just as pretty, or they're mad because, I don't know, people be making up stuff. They could be jealous of you because of guys that try to talk to you, or because you're funny. Like, people be mad for the smallest things. And the crazy thing is, every time that I've encountered a woman who like struggle with jealousy, it's always somebody who I'm like, why would you be jealous? Like, you are just as beautiful. You are just as amazing. But it's like, if you can't see that for yourself, then it's not for me to try to make you see your light, because it's just going to pull me down. People who are jealous hearted, it's something that they got to work out with themselves and God. Like, baby, it ain't nothing I can do to fix it. I've tried to be friends with jealous people, or I've tried to like water myself down so that people would know, like, girl, I am not a threat. Like, we can be friends, we can be cool. And I'm going to tell you right now, that shit never works. That never, ever works. It's literally like coming into contact with a venomous snake. And instead of you walking the other way because you know that you see a venomous snake, you try to pet the snake and you try to talk to it and you try to sing it lullabies. And then you act in shock when a snake bites you and you got to go to the hospital. Duh, it was a venomous snake. Like, what did you think? Jealous friends are that venomous snake. They do not want to see you win. They do not have your best interest at heart. And honestly, when somebody is jealous of you, there is nothing that you can say. There is nothing that you can do. You just have to let them be and walk away from the situation because honestly, jealousy, everybody has had a moment where they're like, dang, why can't I have that? But to like downright be jealous of somebody and to actually work towards making their life harder or I don't know, giving them hate or whatever the case may be, that's like a disease. That's something that you can't help somebody work out, especially if they're jealous of you. So you have to stay far away from people like that. And honestly, I just try to stay away from people who are jealous in general. You don't even have to be jealous of me. If you're jealous of your ex's new girlfriend, I don't want to be around you. Because one thing about me, I'm not going to sit up talking about some girl all day. I'm not going to sit up comparing myself or nitpicking people apart. I don't do that. You don't even got to be jealous of me. If you super jealous of anybody, I got to stay away from you because you are a person who has a hard time with seeing your own light. You're a person that struggles to see the beauty in your own life. So even if you're jealous of somebody that's not me, when I start winning, that could literally turn on me. And I just don't want to be in the path of somebody like that at all. Next is the draining or the one-sided friend. This friend literally sucks the life out of you because they're so negative or they're always in drama. It's always some huge catastrophe or something going on in their lives. Being friends with this type of person literally depletes you so much. And the thing about these type of friendships is that they are normally one-sided. They're normally one-sided because the friend who is constantly draining or the friend who's constantly a downer or negative or whatever the case may be, they can't pour into you because they probably either lack the maturity to do so. Like they can't help you with your problems because they can't even help themselves with their problems. So you don't even bring them to them. Or they can't help you with their problems because they're always so caught up in their own madness and what they have going on that it like blinds them and stops them from even being able to be a present and a good friend. All relationships, whether they are friendships or romantic relationships, have to be mutually beneficial. And mutually beneficial does not mean that we do the exact same things for one another, but mutually beneficial means that we both are adding value to one another's lives. So maybe you're adding value to my life because you're so optimistic, and I'm adding value to your life because I'm good at moving up in a workplace and we're constantly pouring into each other in that way. But if you have a relationship where you're constantly pouring into somebody and they cannot pour back, this is you. This is you. You constantly pouring into them and their cup is never full because you pouring into somebody, you can't make them full. They can only make themselves full. So it feels like they always need, because they do need, because they're lacking within themselves, and you trying to fill them up and help them because you're a good friend. But it's like you're draining yourself. Who's pouring into you? You constantly pouring into this person and they're never pouring into you. It's okay to have the mentorship type of relationships, right? Those are the relationships that they're not necessarily meant to be in your life to pour into you. Mentorship relationships are like, you know that God crossed your path with somebody else's path because you're meant to help them, or maybe they're meant to help you. But when you call somebody your friend, they got to be adding to your life, period. This ain't no mentorship, baby. They got to be adding to your life. And if they're not adding to your life, you should not be considering them a friend. Simple as that. Okay, next we have the critical friend. These type of people are literally impossible to be friends with because they are hypercritical and extremely insensitive. I'm gonna give y'all an example because I had a friend like this that I loved so freaking much, but I'm gonna tell y'all the story. I couldn't do it. And this story is what made me like cut her off completely and say, yeah, I can't be friends with you. Okay, so I had this friend at the time, right? And I was dating somebody at the time and I was going through it. Okay, I was going through the ringer. And so I would talk to this friend about my relationship and I would talk to her about my boyfriend and everything that I was going through, right? And one day I was telling her about the situation. I think me and the guy had broke up or whatever. And she literally said to me, and I will never forget this because this was literally the rudest, the meanest, the nastiest thing somebody that I call my friend has ever said to me. She literally said to me, she said, I don't care. It's not like you're going to leave him anyways. And not only was that rude and nasty, but even when she said that, I immediately felt the type of way, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. I felt the type of way because she was the friend that always came to me with her problems. Like, it's not like I was just dumping all my problems onto her. She was always telling me her problems as well. So that was kind of like our relationship, but I had always felt like she was a bit critical and a bit insensitive. But that's not what made me stop being her friend. She said that to me one day and it hurt my feelings and we kind of talked about it, but I'm like, okay, whatever. A few days passed, y'all, and she literally calls me at like 3 a.m. about somebody that is not even her man, just another fling that she has, right? Calls me complaining about him, all this other stuff. The same guy that she always complains to me about. And I talked to her for maybe like 2 minutes and I get off the phone with her. And I was with my other friend at the time. And my other friend was like, "You're not going to stay on the phone with her?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going to stay on the phone with her." This is the same person who literally just told me that I'm never going to leave my boyfriend, so she don't care. But you literally call me and wake me up out of my sleep at 4 a.m. to talk about somebody that you always complain to me about. It would be one thing if in that situation, I had always been coming to her and she had never like came to me for the same thing. But even then, she could have said it in a nicer way. Like, "Girl, you're always complaining about him. I don't want to hear it no more." Okay, cool. I would have respected it if it was a friend who was not being a hypocrite. But I'm like, you are literally a hypocrite and you don't have any compassion for anybody but yourself in your own situations. And for that, I'm going to have to drop you as a friend. I cannot do the friends who are extremely critical and insensitive, but they don't hold themselves to that same standard. Like, how are you going to literally call me at 3 a.m. about somebody that you're not even dating? I think this guy had a girlfriend too. It was like, y'all, the story was literally insane. And I was just like, yeah, this is the end of this friendship. Okay, and last but not least is the friend who lacks self-accountability. They are not self-aware at all. You cannot grow with this type of friend because they're always playing the victim. Nothing is ever their fault. There's nothing they can improve on. There's nothing they can work on. This person is always the victim in every situation. So it's like, you have to either be okay with this person's BS or you have to walk away from the friendship because they're not going to grow. They're not going to change. Woe is them. They the victim. They ain't never do nothing wrong. They ain't never said nothing. You confront them about hurting your feelings about something, they get defensive. Like, this is a type of person that you cannot grow with. You cannot be friends with because they do not have a growth mindset. And because they don't have a growth mindset, no growth is going to come out of the relationship. The friendship is going to be stagnant. And so your only choice is to leave this friend in the dust. I really hope that today's video was helpful for somebody. If any of these tips have helped you. If you have encountered any of these types of friends, please leave a comment below about your situation. If I said anything that stuck with you or I missed something, leave a comment. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Shanti Ringfield. I love you guys, and I will see y'all on the next video. Mwah.